What's happening, everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of In the Conversation. Today, we're going to be fully focused on all things Arsenal. There is an awful lot to discuss. They didn't make the Champions League, and what bearing is that going to have on their aspirations for the new season? We need to find out. Joining me is none other than the wonderful Ade Oladipo. His link is in the description below, so make sure that you subscribe to his channel. Ade, let's get straight into it. Arsenal Football Club.
Yeah.
They didn't make the Champions League last year. It was a pitiful end to the season for them. They had the opportunity. It was in their own hands. They went to their nearest and dearest, and they needed a point, and they got trounced. As a result, Tottenham look like they're going from strength to strength. Big signings, big statements made. Arsenal, however, I don't really know. Yves Bissouma at one point looked like he was going to be an Arsenal player. He felt like it was a natural progression in his career that Arsenal were awaiting him. Arsenal have not signed him. He's gone to Tottenham. Tottenham's got a bargain. They've got hold of Bissouma. Tottenham are making moves, constant moves. Arsenal, it feels like they've stagnated. Where do you see their season going?
Well, look, there's a problem there, and it is a result of them not making Champions League football. You know, just the idea of coming to a club that offered you Champions League football. Obviously, you can pay a bit more money when it comes to wages as well. Now you can't offer that, and Tottenham can, and hence why Tottenham maybe snatched a couple of players underneath their nose. Obviously, Bissouma being one of those. I still look at this Arsenal side, and look, me and you've gone back and forth about this, and I still think it's a good team. I think Arsenal have got a good enough side with a couple of additions. One maybe being left back because we don't know what's going on with Kieran Tierney. In, out. You just can't trust him.
Not good enough.
Nuno Tavares is nowhere near good enough. And a striker. And I think, look, I know Jesus is sort of obviously wanted by a bucket load of teams across Europe. But if I'm Jesus, I look at that squad and I think, where am I guaranteed to play week in, week out? Where are they going to build a team around me? What's Jesus, 25? He knows Arteta. They've got that relationship. And I think if they can get Jesus, someone that guarantees them 15 goals plus a season, Arsenal won't be far off top four again.
There's a massive omission from your school of thought here.
Go on.
You're right on so many levels, but I've got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Gabriel Jesus gets into most Premier League teams, most teams in the world. Not being good enough for Man City, there's no embarrassment there.
No.
Not good enough to play for City doesn't mean you're not a wonderful footballer.
Yeah.
And I believe he is a wonderful footballer.
Yeah.
Gabriel Jesus gets in virtually every team in the Premier League, including Chelsea, who are in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Why on earth does he go to Arsenal?
Because he has no competition. You're right about that, by the way.
There's no competition at Chelsea.
Well, until you get rid of Lukaku. And you probably will. But it's going to be difficult because of financials. You're right. Jesus could literally start for every single team across the board in Europe. But every other single team has got a very good number 9 that he's going to compete with. Arsenal, no disrespect, have Nketiah.
Do you know what?
He's guaranteed, even if he has 4 or 5 games where he doesn't score, guess what? He's guaranteed to start.
Do you know what's
and no
amazing?
Other team can do that.
Do you know what's genuinely amazing? You talking about Arsenal's deficiency in a front line. Do you know what my mind has just reminded me of? Must have been, 2019? Arsenal played at the Nou Camp in a friendly pre-season. Yeah. And I remember, I know this because my cousin who's an Arsenal fan sent it to me, Nacho Monreal being interviewed after the game. Obviously, they already had Aubameyang, they already had Lacazette, and they just signed Nicola Pepe. In theory, that was going to give them one of the most formidable front threes in Europe. Lacazette, Aubameyang, Pepe.
Crazy.
That was meant to be it.
Yeah.
How on earth, few years later.
By the way, let's not forget this as well. Obviously, Pepe record signing. Lacazette was 50 million plus. And Aubameyang came for around 30 million as well. Obviously came in and proved his worth at the time. So it wasn't a cheap front three either. I mean, all of them good age at the time, relatively good ages. They're going to be up front for the next 4 or 5 years. Arsenal are going to go and win stuff. And it kind of looked like it was going that way when they won the FA Cup under Arteta. And then it's just...
3 years. 3 years, 3 managers. 3 managers later for Pepe. If you include Freddie Ljungberg's brief stint. It's over, isn't it?
He's nicking a living.
It's over.
He's nicking a living. You know, when we talk flops, and I know you obviously mentioned Lukaku, and people will look at Pogba and others. Nicolas Pepe, no one talks about. It's almost like he's their record signing, and all he does is stepovers without nothing else. Like when he goes away for his country, he seems to play quite well, but when it's Arsenal, useless. Arsenal need to. Arsenal need to get rid. I just don't think they can because he's obviously on good wages and they spent a lot of money for him. But look, this Arsenal team, as young as it is, should have got top 4. They're going to be a season more experienced. And again, I think a midfielder, a forward, I know it's a lot to ask, and a left back, I think they're there. I think they're there again. I really do. I think Odegaard's going to be better next season. I think Emil Smith-Rowe was a bit hit and miss, and that happens with young players. Saka, is his head been turned with the City interest? We don't know, but he'll be better next season. They'll be okay if they get... Dude, how many goals did Nketiah get?
5,
6 Premier League goals. Lacazette around the same. We're just asking someone to come in and get 15.
I don't think they're anywhere near it.
But they are, though, because they only finished, a couple of points off.
But it's an anomaly. Chelsea had their issues.
Yeah.
Chelsea was sanctioned. It's never been less stable at Stamford Bridge. Certainly not for 50 years. So Chelsea had their issues.
Yeah.
Ralph Rangnick at Manchester United, whatever happens at Manchester United, it doesn't happen again.
They're going to be better.
Tottenham, who pipped them to it, had a crisis. 2, really. They sacked their manager. They had the issue with Harry Kane. They're never going to have a better chance. When you think about the mismanagement, you're thinking about Pepe there. He's got 2 years left on his deal.
Yeah. That's not an Arteta signing, though. Let's not forget that.
But in terms of mismanagement and the poor running of the club, Aubameyang cost a fortune, left for free.
I think they even paid. I think they paid to get rid of him.
Lacazette cost a fortune, left for free. Pepe, 2 years left.
Don't forget Ozil. The money he was on. And I think, again, that's to kind of pay to get rid of him. I think it was Ozil, not Aubameyang, but that's to pay to get rid of him.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? And when you think about the players that have left, the revolving door just isn't... I suppose they sold Martinez to Villa, didn't they?
Yeah.
Sold Willock to Newcastle. But something isn't right, either with the recruitment...
Yeah, but you look at the recruitment of recent times, and you have to say Ben White's been good. Yes, he's been good. No, he's been good. Ramsdale's better than I thought he was, because we were talking like Ramsdale getting relegated twice, and everyone kind of made a bit of a meme about him. He's better than I thought he was. He's England's number 2 now, competing for that number 1 spot. And Odegaard's been fantastic. So if given the money to spend, he clearly knows what he's doing with it, I think. The signings that have come in have been okay. I think you give him a bit more, they'll get a striker. They'll get a striker in.
So what it's looking like, it's looking like...
I even think Ivan Toney could get 15 goals for them.
Especially the way that Basuma has now gone to Tottenham. That means that Basuma's off the table for them, obviously. It's just got to be Tielemans, hasn't it?
Yeah. Different type of player, but yeah.
Like, that is the signing that they have to make.
He's been off the boil.
But maybe he just needs a new challenge. There's a player there, isn't there? There's a really good player there. 100%. So Tielemans in the middle. And Jesus up front?
Yeah. That's... If they can do that window, so forget the left-back option, because I think you still kind of just stick with Nuno Tavares, maybe, stick with it, right? And they've even got a right-back problem as well with Tomiyasu, injured, not injured, but Ben White can play there if need be. If they can get a window where they get Gabriel Jesus and Tielemans, add into what they've done in the summer...
And then Rafinha. I'm talking dream scenario.
Rafinha is not going to go there.
Well, I mean, it seems to be Tottenham, Chelsea or Arsenal.
They say it again?
Tottenham, Chelsea or Arsenal.
Exactly. So they're going to be bottom of the table. And even with that, I know Arsenal pay good money, but I think Conte will... Just the Conte pool is big enough for him to look at Arsenal and Tottenham and go Tottenham. Like right now, honestly, and I can't believe I'm saying this, because obviously I've grown up and Arsenal being the best team in London and then Chelsea competing with them. It was never Tottenham. If you were to bring in a player now and say Tottenham or Arsenal, they're going Tottenham. I think they're going Tottenham.
Definitely.
Yeah,
well,
okay.
Perisic, Jed Spence, Yves Basuma.
Yeah.
They signed a keeper as well, didn't they? The English chap.
Foster.
They're making moves, Tottenham. And when you think about Conte, think about what he does, think about the way that he plays the game. They are one player. If Tottenham were to sign, say,
I think they've
Richarlison.
Yeah, I think if they can get Richarlison.
I think they get top 4 and they really pressure Chelsea top 3.
You think?
I mean, could they go further?
Then what?
Than that? Could they pressure top 2, top 1?
No chance. No chance. They're a million miles away.
You know how you say no chance?
No
I
chance.
don't think you can do that when Conte's involved.
No chance. I said it. I said no chance. You know why? You know that when we do the Arteta to Conte thing? You always said, no, I will give Rory credit. Rory always said, when it comes down to it, and this is where, by the way, when Spurs were a few points behind, he said it's Conte and it's Arteta. You can't do that with Conte and Klopp and Conte and Guardiola.
Agreed.
Do you know what I mean? So that's the reason I say no chance, because those teams have got better squads. But look, back to Arsenal. I don't think they're a million miles off. I do think Jesus would be fantastic. If I'm Jesus, I'd go. I pack my bags and go now.
But Jesus goes. I think if I were Jesus, I'd go. Well, I'm going to go to play for Chelsea in the Champions League. Gabriel Jesus is
no disrespect, if I'm Jesus, I look at the number 9s or the guys through the middle that have gone to Chelsea in recent times. It's hit and miss, man. It's hit and miss. Like it's Diego Costa. I know you always will break this down a bit better for me, but people will say it's struggle in Diego Costa. Obviously, it's more. Others have had success, but not to the point where
there's been a lot of failures as well.
There's so many
failures.
failures.
That's neither here nor there if you're Jesus, is it? Like the fact that Fernando Torres flopped at Chelsea means nothing to the player that Gabriel Jesus is.
Yeah.
Unless he's incredibly superstitious, it shouldn't be any
Do you think
better.
Jesus looks at Chelsea and thinks I'm guaranteed to start?
Gosh, yeah.
No. I know you say that, and you're right, because obviously, do you think he thinks he's guaranteed to? Well, he knows at 1 trillion% he's guaranteed to start. You know what it is? If Jesus were to go Chelsea and don't score in his first 4 or 5 games, miss a couple of sitters, like Lukaku's kind of
still better than anything else we have there.
But I think Tuchel will drop him.
For who?
For
who?
For Lukaku, if he stays.
No, Lukaku will be gone. So then you're looking at replacing him with Timo Werner or Kai Havertz.
Yeah.
And do you know what?
They're still more threatening than Nketiah. It's still more threatening than Nketiah.
Of our front players, I'm so bored of them. You know, everybody will tell you Kai Havertz brilliant. Kai Havertz so silky on the ball. Well, maybe he is on occasion. 6 goals a season, man. Timo Werner will miss more than he'll score. He will miss.
100%.
He will miss.
Yeah, I'm shocked about everyone's interest for Jesus.
I think he's brilliant. He'd be exceptional for Chelsea. Exceptional, and I believe that he'd be brilliant for Arsenal.
It'll be incredible for Arsenal. Honestly, their movement, all they need is someone with a bit of pace.
Where do you think they finish next season? Where do Arsenal finish next season?
With or without the two? You've
got to do your own equations. Where do they finish? You'll have to work out what they do.
Without 6th or 7th. Without 6th or 7th, yeah, I really
that low. So that's regression.
Yeah, because I think as much as we've already done a United video, and we're probably going to do another one. I think Eric Ten Hag will get them going. I just somehow feel that they can't. Man United cannot be as bad as the United were last season, so I think they could finish above Arsenal.
They'll definitely be competing.
Yeah.
Then
you got to look at teams, and people might laugh. You got to look at teams again like West Ham.
You've definitely got to look at West Ham.
Exactly. And if they get Jesse Lingard, that's goals there as well with them.
Need a striker, West Ham.
Need a striker.
Do a video on them.
Yeah.
But what overall you think Arsenal
will drop?
It's regression.
Yeah. If they don't get they've just lost. Say what you want about Lacazette. Doesn't get goals, runs around, gives them leadership. They've just lost Lacazette. They need a midfielder and a striker desperately. Without those, they're going backwards. Yeah. They have no goals in that team.
Yeah, I agree.
So if they can get... They should have been in for a Divock Origi.
Do you know what? I think that Arsenal, it's going to develop. Like we're doing Arsenal now, we could have to do another Arsenal video very soon.
I think we're going to have to... We could literally repeat this.
I think that Arsenal will very soon announce Tielemans and a left-back and a forward. Surely. They spent a lot of money last summer. What's the point if you don't go again? Although... I don't know. Maybe they're scorned by not making.
Even
the
if they
Cup.
announce Tielemans, Jesus, and a left back, top 4 ain't no joke.
No,
top 4 ain't no joke.
They'd have a good chance though. If
they'd have a very good chance, but again,
they're playing in Europe.
And then you got to look at the boys down the road at North London. Kane, Son, they've already got Perisic. They've added Basuma. They're going to do a few more. It's not going to be easy.
It's exciting.
Mate, you boys might struggle.
It's unknown.
It's another video
difficult.
for you guys. You guys might struggle.
We'll talk about
Chelsea
that on
might struggle.
One. Thank you to everybody who has tuned in. Really do appreciate it. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Make sure that you click the link in the description below that will take you to Adeola Depot's YouTube channel. Click subscribe in there. And we will see you all very soon.